All right, so we up in the mountains in Reno. Just finished skating the park that Richie took all this time and energy to put into to make, and I want to, do a little interview and talk to him about how he started doing all this. Ain't the man. All right, so how long have you been building these DIY skate spots?
So this is a pretty recent thing for me. I started in March. I've always there was a big DIY in Baltimore. I'm from Long Island originally, but I would go to Baltimore a lot, and it's called Ridge, and it was around for like 15 years, and it was unbelievable. Kind of like a street skateboarder DIY spot. That's the kind of spots that I'm really into. And so in March, coronavirus hit. I was managing a warehouse for a TV show, huge, and I was like one of the only ones in America actually working on this show. And I was getting paid, and my workflow went down very minimally. And one day, long story short, I was supposed to film some new stuff in Utah, and I set it up, and I filmed for Germans, and they were like, "Yeah, go film this lady. She's been giving out all of her flowers to make people's day in Corona because they can't sell them, and they're just gonna die anyways." And I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to film that." And the lady, she bailed on me at 7 in the morning, and I had my coffee in me, and I was just ready to go. And then I'm like, you know what? I got my cameras in the car. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go find a place for a DIY right now. And I just I'd never been to Mount Charleston before in Vegas. I live in Vegas right now. And so I'm going down some dirt roads, made like fucking 3 lefts on, 2 miles into mountains. And I see an abandoned truck, right? And there's no roof on it. And I'm just like, damn, this is crazy. And the front is completely slashed. And I go up there and I'm feeling around. I'm like, dude, this is pretty sturdy, man. And I look at the land that if you were to jump out of it, the land is going up and it's dirt, And in my head, I'm like, dude, I could flatten out the earth and I'll build a platform, kind of like a mini ramp deck. And we could jump out of the truck, make it as far of a gap as possible and land on it. And it would be dope. And then the run up, it was aluminum. So I knew I could just put plywood down and put self-tapper screws into the aluminum, and it would be like legit. And I was pretty new to Vegas at the time, so we have this big group chat, and I was like, yeah, guys, we're gonna fucking make a gap out of a truck. We're gonna flatten some land. And they're all like, dude, this guy, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? And so I got a few people to donate and get, it was, very small. It was my first one. And then I found out the government was gonna give my full-time ass $1,200. And I'm like, bro, are you fucking serious? I'm down. I don't give a shit if anyone fucking gives me money. I'm making this gap. I really wanted to do it. And I still wanted to make a normal DIY, but that was first, So,
and how many have you done now?
Now I did 5. So this is my 5th one.
Wow.
Obviously the biggest production. And each time I obviously don't want to build the same circle handrail. I wanted to just switch it up. And so yeah, this time I felt like I've been working on.
Who else did you get involved too? Like the barracks is covering it. You have a whole production.
Yeah, so my buddy Brian Korf, we worked together on America's Got Talent, and then he wasn't into like the whole production assistant type thing. He broke off and basically started filming for the barracks. And so after the second spot I built, my plan was to in that time was to build a spot every other weekend.
Wow.
So I was just like, hey man, I don't know if you've seen these videos I've been doing, and when I put them out originally, they were just like a minute quick cut videos, just to get people hyped and like, hey, check it out, we did this fucking cool thing. And I would edit to whatever song I wanted. Like the third one I edited to fucking my favorite Danzig song, and at the moment in time all the gyms were closed in Vegas, so we would throw this Danzig song on, do deadlifts in the fucking warehouse. Like that little warehouse for the TV show was like my headquarters, which was pretty much, one of those like coronavirus and the warehouse was the things that were able to kind of make this happen. Wow. If I didn't have that job, maybe this wouldn't be going down right now, But yeah, so Brian basically, I was like, hey man, if you want to film this one, you can come out and crash my couch. It'd be a cool weekend. And he's just like, dude, I'm fucking down. That sounds awesome. He ran it past the guys, and and then we made that video.
Barracks covered it, and it seems like every time you do it, you're doing more of a bigger production all yourself. And then, so tell us about this one. You got a job. You were telling me you got a job in Reno, and you're just like, got to do one in Reno.
Yeah, basically I worked on that show in Vegas with the warehouse and all that for like 5 months or so. And my good friend Robert is a production designer of Christmas movies, and they bang out like 6 Christmas movies in a year. And Paula Hart she's Melissa Joan Hart's mom, and she's the most badass executive producer. And then on the crew, it's all my Vegas friends and all my LA friends. And it's just, Robert would call me, like, hey, got a movie, want to do it? I'm like, I'm on this Property Brothers show, and call me again. Hey, got one more. I'm like, I'm like full time, what am I gonna do? And the third one came around, and I had a really good 2020 year. I was fortunate enough to work full time, and then I'm a news camera operator too, so I covered the Minneapolis riots and the George Floyd funeral, and then America's Got Talent came to Vegas, and I had a decent year. So
wow.
I was like, you know what, man? You still got room on the crew? I'll come up and do a Christmas movie. And I basically gave my job 2 weeks notice. I had this Christmas idea, Christmas movie in my head. And then like the first day or so, I'm like, dude, I got to build a spot. Basically, I only knew Alan in Reno. So Alan, we would go street skating whenever I'd be in town. And then I knew his friend Brian and Trevor, and that's all I knew. So I hit up Alan, gave him the rundown. I'm like, hey man, fucking thinking about building a spot in Reno. You down to help out? I would need some serious help. I don't know anyone there. And he's just like, dude, I have the perfect guys. I got a father and son combination. I got when I was like father and son combination, it was Cole and Brian. They ended up killing it and helping us out so much. Then he's like, dude, I got like the best concrete guys, Jordan, Donkey, Marcus. Like, I mean, we had so much help. I couldn't have done it without Alan. I could have done it by myself, but it wouldn't be such a production and such like a, Alan really came through. He was just the perfect dude for it. It's like amazing that's the only person I knew in Reno.
Wow. So you basically get a crew, you build a skate park in what, 4 days? 5 days?
Yeah. It's it's
amazing.
really it's like 90% planning, and if you love pre-production, it's fun. So you make phone calls. You talk to find the welder. Oh, those guys are the concrete guys. I don't know shit about. I've made 2 red curbs in my life out of concrete. I made like little ledges, like cinder block ledges when I was a kid. But yeah, if you don't know how to do something, man, just go find someone that has the interest in it and that also has the skill. And give them the rundown, give them the idea. And you can get people on board like a lot easier than you really think. If you're, and if you have already put in the work, and I go, hey, these are like the other 4 spots I've done. I'm building up credibility.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just, you got to start somewhere. And
what do you say to kids that want to start building skate parks or building these projects? Because these are big production stuff, and that's not easy to pull off and have the barracks cover it. Like, there's a lot of people that would wish they could do stuff. Like,
dude, you got to start from somewhere.
Yeah.
So, and you also can't be afraid to make mistakes. I mean, and you got to get your friends involved. And then next time you get more people you don't even know. You got to put the idea out there. And also, if you're not going to do something, don't talk about it until in your head you're fully committed. And that's what I do. So I'll think about something by myself, and once I start telling people, I tell a lot of people. And now I'm in it, you know what I mean? I'd like to put as much, nobody puts pressure on me, so I have to put the pressure on myself. In this case, I told all the people in Reno basically, and I made it public. I told Instagram, and then I hit up Chad, and I'm like, hey Chad, I'll fly you out, blah blah blah, and then Kaz came through. Dude, I didn't even know you before this, man. Like, I knew of you,
crazy.
of course.
You just hit me up, man.
Just from skate videos.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just straight up in my kitchen cooking mad bison, fucking meal prep, and I had your 9 Club on. And one by one, I'm like, this guy's saying a lot of good shit. Really like his outlook on skating and stuff like that. And he's from New York. You did the fucking Playboy video. You're a creative dude. And I'm like, dude, this guy might be down to go build a skate spot in Reno, And at that point in the pre-production, I was thinking of building a team to come out here to link up with the Reno guys. And I'm like, shit, man, this dude would also get along with Chad. And I hit up Chad, and I'm like, hey, man, you ever cross paths with Eli Reed? And he's like, we drank once, we skated a while back. He actually hit me up about doing some YouTube videos together. And I'm like, dude, you got this guy's phone number? Give me his phone number, man. Like, that's crazy. I gotta call him now. So yeah, I mean, I just gave you the rundown. I gave you the idea, what I did, what I want to do. And you're just like, dude, this sounds awesome, man. I'm totally down. Like, he's like, yeah, give me a flight and a floor to crash on. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get you guys comfortable. We're gonna be working long days, man. We're gonna have a nice, comfortable situation. Yeah, man. So thing is, you know, put the pressure on you. You know what I mean? And it's okay to fail, and you know, you learn from all those mistakes. You'll never be at the level if you don't make the mistakes, because when those situations come back, you're like, yo, I've been here before. Yeah. I know what to do. Like, I've gotten past this. It's okay. And also, you got to be comfortable with being in situations that are uncontrollable. You know what I mean? And you have to just make the right decisions at the right time and
make mistakes.
That's really it, you know. And then also, no one's gonna make your idea for you, man. Like, if I got a bunch of people, like, you know, you got to be the one in charge, and you got to be the one putting in all the work. And you know, even after we are done filming the video, now I go home and I go through footage for, I don't know, a week or two, and then I edit, and you know, I just spent I don't know, $9,000 on this project.
It's a lot of work. That's why I wanted to say, you know.
You know, so like, yeah, I go home. I should probably go be looking for jobs, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just completely focus 100% into the editing process, and yeah, no one's gonna do it. No one's gonna do it for you. You know what I mean? So you just got to step up.
Rip. Back in New York, just got back, still got the hat on, through the airport and everything, and had a really good trip. And I just wanted to close out and say I really like that interview, because step it up and do it yourself. Sometimes that's what you got to do, and that's kind of the whole meaning behind DIY skate parks. Do it yourself, and that's like a mentality. It's a skateboard mentality, and a lot of us have that, you know. But I do think it is good to ask for help. Don't be scared to ask for help from your friends and family and peers around you. That's another good quality to have, and I work on that, because sometimes I want to do everything in myself too, because it's such a skateboarder thing. But really, there's no reason to hesitate if you have a good idea. Richie's a good example of having these great ideas and putting together a plan and really producing his own projects and getting people involved. You know, he's not a sponsored skater, he's not a pro, but he's doing big production projects. So, and I really, really give him a lot of props, because that's not easy to do. And to have the barracks involved and building skate parks all around the country, it's pretty amazing. So he's just enabling more spots for kids to skate and have a good time. So that's like, you know, the meaning behind this, each one teach one. Sometimes you got to do it yourself. All right, guys, listen.